everyone, welcome to my channel. Today my new oil pastels and my sketchbook finally arrived and I'm really excited to use them. So let's get into painting. Working with oil pastels is truly an interesting and exciting challenge for me. Of course, it has its problems, but one of the most fascinating aspects is the way the colors blend together and create beautiful textures in the painting. I really enjoy the combination of colors blending into each other. There are a few things I learned while working on this oil pastel painting. First, it's important to understand that oil pastels are different from other materials, like color pencils. The tips of them are not as sharp as pencils, so it's not possible to use them with extreme precision. Also, it's better not to insist too much on being precise and neat, but rather guide them with small and free movements. It's also way better to start with larger and less detailed references for beginners so that you can have better control over the painting. After buying this sketchbook, I realized that one of the challenges for artists, including myself, is the fear of starting. Especially when you start a new sketchbook, I always have this concern about painting on the first page. I constantly think, what if it gets ruined? What if it doesn't turn out well and I have to tear out the first page? Once, because of this hesitation, it took me months to draw on the first page of a new sketchbook. For oil pastels, the issue of smudging exists. However, one of the solutions for cleaner and more precise surfaces is to use one or two regular color pencils, which don't necessarily have to be oil-based. A white pencil and a regular brown pencil are great options for softening the edges of very small areas, like the details of the eyes. I think one of the reasons we get stressed for this is the idealistic mindset, the fear of taking risks, and the fear of making mistakes. In fact, I believe that fear is the biggest and most challenging thing for an artist because it prevents all the progress and risks that an artist can discover about themselves. We should approach painting with freedom and without being too strict. It's also way better to use colors that are quite close to each other and then use white to blend each part. Like this, the colors of the painting do not become too light or muddy when they are mixed together. Sometimes it is necessary to use different colors than the reference in a painting. For example, I use different but closely related color combinations for the clothing. This creates a greater impact in the painting. The reference I used for this painting was kind of detailed, which left me with less room for any mistakes. However, the reason why I chose this reference is that I wanted a unique kind of one, and I found the colors in it really beautiful. When choosing a reference, always consider the colors and the lighting in it. However, for beginners, it is way better to use simple, less detailed, and larger references. When I work with pastels, I don't like the complete absence of texture. I prefer to have some of the pastel's texture on the paper. An interesting thing for me is that the texture is not visible from a distance, but it can be observed up close. In this technique, it is common to go from light colors to dark colors because darkening the lighter areas is much easier. You can also use a tissue to lighten a portion of the color you have applied to the paper. By doing this, you cannot completely remove the color, but you can make it lighter. Being fearless and not being afraid of making mistakes allows us to work continuously, and as every beginner or professional artist knows, practice more leads to greater progress. In fact, by working a lot and of course with passion, we can find our own unique artistic style and purpose in art. And lastly, one of the most important things is keeping the oil pastel tips clean. It means that you should always be careful that the tips of the pastels don't have other colors on them, because their dirtiness can make the colors become muddy or mixed together. To do this, you should always have a cloth or tissue nearby to clean the tips of the pastels after each use, so that your work can have a better appearance. These were all my thoughts and ideas during my first experience with oil pastels, which I shared with you. I hope this video motivates you to start painting with oil pastels and the tips I mentioned are helpful to you. Thank you for watching the video so far, and stay tuned for more videos with oil pastels.